Good Monday morning, Sonor family. Jules here, all bright-tailed and bushy-eyed. Hope you had a good 4th of July weekend. Truth be known, it's Saturday afternoon as I'm recording this. I'm heading out in the morning, going to Atlanta. I'm going to go see Styx. Had planned on being in Atlanta most or all of today, and then see Styx tomorrow and come back Monday. Uh, but I will be back Monday afternoon. I'm going to go back to Atlanta Drum Shop and take some pictures of some things I'm going to be using for an upcoming video I got a video and a interview I'm going to release between now and the time that the Music City Drum Show commences. So be on the lookout for that stuff. Got some good content coming out, and it's going to coincide with something else coming out. And if you've been watching the channel, you might have seen something that hit the screen for a while, then magically went away. I haven't discussed that since I was asked to pull it, but if you know what I'm talking about, please don't mention it. This is the only time I have mentioned it, and I'm not being specific, but something really cool is coming up, and I'm going to do a lead into that. I think it's going to appeal to a lot of people, and I could possibly be one of them. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the Music City Drum Show. Looking forward to meeting some folks over there, Sonor related folks, and then some. I guess all of them are going to be Sonor related to a point. I got one particular artist that I really hope is there. I'd love to shake that guy's hand, and I'll talk more about that another time too. Don't really have much of an organized thing going on this morning. It's probably going to be kind of quick. Didn't even come up with a real good joke. The only thing I did find, I went to chatgpt.com, which I'm beginning to love, by the way. As much as everybody wants to bitch about AI, you know what? There's some really good tools and resources out there. So, how do you know it's a drummer knocking up on or knocking on your door? He's slowing down and speeding up and then breaking out into a solo. So, if you didn't like the joke, it's free today, so no problem with that. No refunds. Got some stuff I do want to talk about. I want to talk about the Sonar marketplace. I've got quite a few things on there, and I've got some gems on there really that I'm not going to put anywhere else. It's one of those things I kind of want the word to kind of leak out. I got one or two things on there that are virtually impossible to find, and I figure that will draw some folks eventually, either uh, uh, Google searches for this particular item, one in particular for sure, or word of mouth or whatever. So it's a high dollar item ish, and I'm just going to let it sit there until somebody comes along and finds it and buys it. I got some other things I want to do at the marketplace. There's some other functionality, but you're looking at a pretty good investment to get that going. And things have been kind of tight lately. I've got stuff on Reverb that's just not moving. I've thrown some items out in different Facebook pages. I put out there the two 14 by 4 designer snare drums, the red and the green stain. Nobody even asked for prices. It's kind of a weird thing going on right now. So, um, and then got other bills coming up too. So I'm not fussing. I'm just explaining that I got things I want to do. It's just a matter of getting the funding together. You can help. I'm not asking anybody for any donations, but if I've got something you would like, let's talk about it. Let's get something going. If you just got to beat me to death and take all the fun out of the deal from me, you might catch me in the right position to have to take it. So if that's how you like to deal, this may be a good time for that. If you're not that way, I would certainly appreciate talking to you if I've got anything you would like, and we'll do something that makes sense for both of us. That's the way I really like to do things. But some people don't give you the option to do that when they know you're in a bind. So anyway, I do have other things outside of this coming up. I've been saying that it was true then and it's still true. It's just one of those things where it's a startup and they're getting all their ducks in a row. It's got nothing to do with music at all. And um, so I'm waiting to see that they've got a plan that works. If I go completely abandon everything else I'm doing and focus solely on that, and it doesn't lift off, I'm in bigger trouble than I am scratching and scraping for what I'm doing right now. And I'm telling too much about myself, but I'm just being transparent here. So if you're in the market to buy something and you're in a position to buy something, if I've got something you want, let me know. If you're not sure what all I've got, go to the marketplace. It's not all on there yet. Pretty good representation now, though. And just something I did like badges and memory locks and clutches, things like that. I took one picture of several models. So they're listed, but they're not individually listed. So, and then I put like stupid prices like $10,000. And that's not because I think somebody's going to come along and want to buy, 25 or 30 memory locks for $10,000. That's supposed to be obviously, you know, not a price. I'd rather somebody say, "Hey, I need two or three of these. What would you do?" And I'll give you a price on two or three of those. If I'd price the whole batch, I know nobody's going to want to buy the whole batch, or probably not. Anyway, that's where I'm at with that. Um, if you haven't, if you haven't taken the poll yet, please do that. And looking back, I should have done one thing differently on the poll. I should have made an option out of the configuration. I think some people are turned off by the configuration. I do know that so far, less than half of the people's complaint is the price. And that kind of surprised me. I would have thought that the price would have been more than that. And I think the configuration itself would have been a substantial option or substantially chosen option had I made it one. And the second runner up or the first runner up to the price is the fact there aren't any add-on options. So it's not all a matter of the money. It's the matter of the people that have got the money might would have liked to have seen something done a little differently. So go take that poll. I'm going to put a link to that in the description. Go take that poll for me if you haven't already. If you haven't signed up for the forum, please do that. If you haven't gone and looked around, I think you're going to be surprised what you see. First and foremost, we're going to keep a positive vibe on there. There's going to be a time here and there where somebody makes an unsubstantiated claim or something, and but I'm not going to be an iron fisted, it's my way or the highway, and everybody that disagrees with me can go kind of thing. I'm not into that. We're not going to do that. You can have a different opinion than I do. I may explain my side of how I see something, but I would expect anybody to feel, like they could do the same thing. And that's what it's all about. It's about communication. I posted some stuff on there today about powder coating. I had some parts powder coated. I had some heavily pitted chrome parts about 20 years ago. I took them to a professional powder coater, and so he basically converted them to high tech parts for me. And so there's a post on there about that. And what I want is I want everybody to go in there and list their different experiences with Sonor in life. And that way, if somebody has a question, you can't go to a Facebook page and look at already submitted information. What you can do is you can go in there and start a whole new thing. But as far as going in there and having historical data, you can just go do a search and pull it up. It's not there. And there's nothing wrong with asking questions on the fly and getting answers that have already been given 20 or 30 times. Not that that many people have discussed the powder coating. That's not the point. But I just think that a format like we've got on the forum is a very good resource. And I'll tell you another thing, too. If you remember years ago, MySpace was where it was at. And now it's not even a viable option anymore. So I think one day the Facebook pages will go the way of the dinosaur. I think Facebook will eventually piss off enough folks that somebody out there is going to come up with another option, and things are going to shift another direction, and maybe they'll have a better format for pages like the Sonor pages that they've got. Maybe not. But at any rate, I think something like the forum is going to stand the test of time, where I just think Facebook eventually is going to fold. I just do. Everything eventually, eventually, everything that was is no more. And, you got a lot of companies that you never thought you'd see go away that have. But anyway, kind of rambling here, and I'm trying to pretend like it's Monday morning and I'm half asleep drinking a cup of coffee, which none of that's true. Maybe the half asleep part, but I'm going to let it wrap up here. And I just appreciate everything. Sign up for the forum, sign up for the marketplace. If you got stuff for sale, post it there. It's going to expire in 45 days. So if you post it and you forget it's out there, it's no big deal. You'll wind up back sooner or later because it is going to build up. It's 8.1% cheaper than Reverb. I've got no fees on the marketplace. There's also some functionality I don't yet have. And one day that'll come. Just gotta crawl before you can walk, and that's what we're doing right now. And you can help me get past that crawling point if you'll go sign up for these other resources and help me get those things in full swing. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all the support, guys, and I hope you have a great Monday. Thank you.